Welcome back to another tutorial with Vintage Market Design Furniture Paint. What we're going to do tonight is teach you how to paint on fabric. It's one of the amazing things about chalk-based paint as compared to latex or acrylic or some other varieties. You actually can go over fiber, fabric, pillows, canvas, all kinds of soft surfaces, and we'll finish it off with a clear wax, and it doesn't come off, it doesn't transfer onto clothing, and it's a beautiful way to upcycle old furniture that's past its prime. As you can see here, we have purchased an old table from one of the local thrift stores. It's not real finished wood, it's that stuff from the 70s. It has the fly specks on it, and there's no red to it, so I'm not going to have to use block it primer. And it has a cane seat back. We're going to be painting that as well, which is really great. You can paint over rush or cane or any of those natural fibers and update the look. And last but not least, we've got a pretty tired looking rusty brown 70s corduroy seat cover, and so we're going to be painting this and bringing it back to life too. So I experimented just a little bit. We're going to use antique because that's one of the most popular colors. Everybody loves it, and it's just a good neutral. And I experimented before the video and just tried a little bit of the antique on the edge to see how it would do. Some of the gold's coming through a bit, but I think with the second coat we'll be able to take care of that. So what I'm going to do, we've just got a little squirt bottle filled with just water, and I'm going to just, you want it on the spray setting, not on the stream setting. And I'm just going to do a little bit of water on this, kind of move it around, make sure I don't have a puddle. And then I'm going to take my antique and start working it into the surface. This is a corduroy, so it's got a texture with some ribbing, and I'm going to go with those ribs to get the paint worked into all the recessed areas. So I just spray a little bit, paint a little bit, spray a little bit, paint a little bit till I get the whole surface done. And then we'll let it dry and go back and do the same thing again. And you can see how that gold kind of comes through. It's a strong dye on the fabric, but like I said, I think the second coat will take care of that for us. One more spray. Work it in so we don't have any puddle. And kind of scrubbing the paint into the surface. If you have a color you like underneath, it's another look just to do one coat like I have here, but I don't want this gold to come through, so I'm going to do two coats this evening. But it looks nice to get kind of a color wash effect to do just one coat if the color behind is something that you like. And it goes pretty fast. Usually we don't water the paint down or apply water to the surface if we're working over a regular surface like wood or a picture frame or a metal light fixture. But what this does is make the fabric more receptive and more absorbent with the paint. So it helps us get the paint in there. And I know people are always wary of painting fabric. The first question is it going to be stiff? Is it going to crack? You don't want to use a clear coat on top of a painted fabric surface because then it would crack. What we do is do two coats of paint, and then we'll let it dry, and we'll do a coat of rubbed in clear wax, and that will keep it pliable and soft, and the clear wax on the fabric kind of acts like a Scotch guard and helps prevent stains from going in and prevents the paint from coming off. Unlike working on a wood surface where the wax is not a sealer, on the fabric it does act as one. So I'm just dividing this up into like 6 segments so I can work a little bit at a time and be working on it while the water's on there and while it's receptive. This is one of the most fun ways to upcycle an old piece, I think, because you can find a lot of chairs and sofas and ottomans and so forth in the thrift stores that are structurally sound and have a nice shape, but the fabric is really outdated. And so you can do this sort of thing and bring it back to life and have it for another 20 years. And I've seen some in the store here at Vintage Market and Design where they've taken a little vanity chair that has a raised pattern with birds and branches and so forth, and that shows through, as would a damask or jacquard fabric. The pattern, the raised pattern will come through, but not the colors, so it becomes very elegant and subdued and just a really nice modern take on an old piece. So now I'm just going to work on the sides here real quick. Okay. I'm going to keep painting this, and so you don't have to watch me finish the pad, and then we'll come back in a few minutes.